The story opens with a viral video of a woman appealing to the public to help find her missing friend. The story flashes back to the past, where Takeshi Sayama, an occult magazine editor-in-chief, secretly works on a project involving unsolved mysteries and paranormal cases tied to Japan's Kinki region. Working alone, late at night, Takeshi is surrounded by disturbances, flickering lights, a shadowy entity flashing past, and the horrifying emergence of his exact double. Soon after this terrifying encounter, Takeshi mysteriously vanishes. One morning, Chihiro Seno, the woman from the viral video, visits Yusei Ozawa, the occult magazine's assistant editor. With a looming deadline, Yusei asks her to help continue Takeshi's unfinished work. Lacking both Takeshi's drafts and a clear grasp of the project, they are forced to rely only on the videos and materials he left behind. In Takeshi's old basement workspace, Yusei and Chihiro review the footage. The first video covers the disappearance of 7-year-old Yamashina Keiko, who vanishes without a trace. 3 months later, her uncle Keizo commits suicide by jumping into a nearby dam. Then, around 3 a.m., a truck driver, Takemoto Yoshinori, reports seeing Keiko near the woods, only to discover she has no eyes, just empty sockets, before she suddenly runs off into the darkness. The next video shows a group of junior high students attending a summer camp. They gather by a window, speaking to an unseen presence outside that offers them persimmons if they go to the mountain. Moments later, several students collapse one by one, sending the others into panic. The third video follows a motorcyclist vlogger in 2013 who rides into a forest and discovers a torii gate. Beside it stands a small shrine filled with dolls. When he opens the shrine, an eerie voice calls out to him. The footage begins to glitch and suddenly shifts to another scene. The video then cuts off abruptly. After watching the videos, Yusei and Chihiro deduce that each case is connected by the same eerie voice calling out, "Ui," despite being separated by an 11-year gap. While searching for more footage, Yusei finds a thumb drive containing a Nico Nico livestream by content creator Tsukumo Kisuke. In the video, Kisuke explores the notorious suicide house, noticing countless nooses dangling from the ceiling. His unease intensifies when he discovers a large, dug-out hole in the tatami floor. Kisuke then goes upstairs and enters a child's bedroom, where even more nooses await. The walls are covered in drawings of a mysterious entity. A burnt mark scars the floor, and a noose made of barbed wire hangs nearby. He opens a drawer. He begins to panic. Moments later, a hanged woman appears behind him. After the incident, Kisuke deletes his Twitter account and is never seen online again. Yusei then finds another interview video from October 2019 featuring a student, Meguro Yuji. He recounts attending a gathering with his friend Sato, during which he shows Sato a cursed video. After watching it, Sato claims to hear a woman's voice. From that moment on, he changes completely and is never seen again. Yuji and the interviewer visit Sato's house, but no one answers the door. Outside, they find a drawing of a mysterious entity identical to the one seen in the suicide house. Yusei and Chihiro watch the cursed video, filled with jarring, unsettling clips of murder, blood, a house marked with the number 5, and a woman standing by a tree. As they analyze it, they notice that the same mysterious drawing recurs in most of the footage they've seen. Terrified that they might be next, they question their own safety, but also note that Yuji watched the video and appears unharmed. The next day, feeling unwell, Yusei watches the cursed video again, fixating on the woman standing by the tree. He nearly jumps out of his seat in fear. While digging deeper, he shows Chihiro a website where people share strange drawings they've encountered. The same mysterious drawing appears repeatedly, reported across Tokyo, Shizuoka, and Nagoya, but the earliest sightings trace back to the Kinki region, where the suicide house is located. From this, they infer that the drawing might serve as a protective talisman. Yusei then shows footage from 2014 at a residential complex in the Kinki region. It captures a young girl moving into a new apartment in Block 5 with her father and grandmother. In the following weeks, the grandmother becomes sickly and behaves oddly, while the girl spends her time drawing. When her father notices a white figure in her drawings, she identifies it as the boss of everyone. The footage then cuts to the grandmother standing rigidly, staring at something invisible. The father's heart races in terror. After reviewing the footage, Yusei points out to Chihiro that Block 5 of the residential complex matches the building seen in the cursed video. He then shows her older footage from 15 years earlier, filmed by a TV crew in the same area. In it, children play a game called Mashira-sama, a form of tag in which the demon acts as the tagger and lures others with persimmons. Based on all the evidence and videos they have gathered, Yusei and Chihiro realize that Takeshi Sayama has been investigating a series of demonic cases for his next paranormal feature. That day, Chihiro meets a psychic, Miya Maroda, and shows her a photo of the mysterious drawing. As Miya studies it, she hesitates, unsure whether the entity is human or a monkey. Suddenly, she recoils in terror, dropping Chihiro's phone. Panicked, Miya flees the scene. Chihiro receives a message from Yusei saying he has found a follow-up interview with Meguro Yuji. In the video, Yuji recounts seeing a boy one night with his head bent completely backward. Then, he later seeks purification at Enzeiji Temple, where he meets the head priest, Tsukata Masazumi. After performing the ritual, Masazumi suddenly becomes violently ill and starts vomiting. He warns Yuji to surround himself with living creatures for protection. While researching the mysterious drawing online, Yusei discovers a chilling news report about the disappearance of the Hasebe family from Saitama. Bloodstains are found in their home, and their handicraft shop is left abandoned. In a family photo shown in the report, Yusei notices the same eerie drawing on the wall, deeply unsettling him. Yusei visits the Hasebe family's house to investigate. He spots another drawing pasted on a window and takes a photo of it. Yusei is completely shaken. The next day, Yusei and Chihiro watch another video of high school students being interviewed about current trends. One girl mentions a chain letter, claiming that anyone who fails to forward the image to 3 people will die. When the image is shown, it turns out to be the same mysterious drawing, accompanied by the message, "Why don't you come to the mountain?" Yusei then finds a newspaper clipping attached to the tape, revealing that the same girls later killed themselves inside a car. Chihiro grows increasingly uneasy, sensing that their investigation is becoming more dangerous. Yusei insists that it is already too late to change their feature. Later, Yusei receives a message from Yuji saying he wants to meet them. They visit Yuji's home and immediately notice that he has changed drastically. He now keeps many cats and fish in accordance with the priest's advice to surround himself with living creatures. Although the haunting by the mysterious boy has stopped, Yuji later sees a woman standing on his balcony, prompting him to stay at a friend's house. He also reveals that the head priest eventually jumps to his death after failing to keep any living creatures near him. At the office, Yusei and Chihiro watch the final video from Takeshi's collected materials. It is an animated cartoon titled Scary Stories from Kinki, Masaru-sama. Long ago, a man named Masaru loves his mother deeply. As she grows old, she falls ill and eventually dies, leaving Masaru completely devastated. One night, while weeping beside her grave, he follows a mysterious light into the mountains and meets an enchanted old man glowing with light. Taking pity on him, the old man offers to grant a wish. When Masaru asks for his mother's love again, the old man refuses, saying the dead cannot return. Instead, he urges Masaru to find a wife and gives him a blackened persimmon, promising that any woman who accepts it will obey him completely. After the encounter, Masaru cries out from the mountains night after night, but no one responds. Eventually, he collapses from exhaustion and dies. From then on, travelers passing through the mountains hear his voice calling out and offering his persimmon, terrifying those who hear it. To calm his restless spirit, the townspeople later build a small shrine in his honor. Yusei concludes that all the strange events in the videos are connected. The doll-filled mountain shrine, the Masaru-sama game played by children, the eerie voice heard at the high school summer camp, the suicide house, and the recurring, mysterious drawing. He realizes they all stem from the legend of Masaru-sama and occur within the same area of the Kinki region. That night, while Yusei works in the basement, he accidentally finds Takeshi's map, the one stained with his blood. It is a map of the Kinki region. Later, Yusei's office mate discovers him sitting atop a pile of clutter, swaying like a drunk man. He suddenly stands up, looking possessed, and shouts the words, "Thank you so much for finding me." Terrified, the office mate backs away and leaves the basement. The next morning, Chihiro goes to the basement to look for Yusei, but he is nowhere to be found. She opens Yusei's laptop and discovers that he has been digging deeper into the Hasebe case. Believing he may be there, Chihiro heads to the Hasebe family's house. Moments later, Yusei appears, still possessed and moving in a daze. Panicked, Chihiro slaps him. Yusei snaps back to his senses, unable to remember what happened or why he is there. Chihiro takes Yusei to her place so he can rest. While she is in the kitchen, Yusei looks around the house and notices a photo of a baby on a shelf. Chihiro explains that the child is her son, Takumi, who died years ago. Yusei then remembers Takeshi's map and shows it to Chihiro. He tells her that Takeshi is still alive and hiding at the foot of Mount Fuji. Hoping to find him, they head there together. They finally reach Takeshi's house. No one appears to be home, so Yusei and Chihiro enter. They are nearly overwhelmed by the stench and filth inside. Dead, decaying animals, rotten food, and piles of trash fill the house. They almost jump out of their skin when Takeshi suddenly appears behind them. He looks unkempt and clearly not himself. At the sight of them, Takeshi's wife screams and runs upstairs, slamming doors and throwing objects in a frenzy. Takeshi blames Yusei and Chihiro for his wife's behavior, speaking in a rambling way that makes no sense. He accuses Chihiro of luring Yusei as her next victim, calling her a vile woman. He then says, "Thank you for finding me," and reveals his empty right eye socket where the eyeball should be. Yusei screams in horror. Takeshi gives him a crumpled piece of paper and turns toward his wife's lifeless body. Terrified, Yusei and Chihiro flee the house. Yusei opens the crumpled paper and discovers a thumb drive inside. Viewing its contents, he watches a video dated 2008 that documents Heaven's Rock Cave, a cult where grieving women gather in search of solace after losing loved ones. The followers devote themselves to daily prayers to Yashiro-sama, worshipping a massive black rock and a leafless tree, in the belief that this devotion will allow them to reunite with the dead. Yusei pauses when he recognizes Chihiro among the members of Heaven's Rock Cave. After a moment of hesitation, Chihiro admits that she joined the cult after losing her son, Takumi. She then shares the tragic truth about her son's death. One day, she falls asleep on a park bench, and when she wakes, her baby is gone. Her son is later found dead in a nearby pond, and the murderer is never identified. Chihiro explains that the black rock mysteriously appeared at Heaven's Rock Cave, and 10 years ago the cult disbanded after the rock vanished, and its leader descended into madness. She concludes that the rock is the source of all the cursed events. Determined, Chihiro and Yusei decide to travel to the Kinki region to locate the rock and destroy it once and for all. Upon arriving in the Kinki region, they visit the residential area from the videos and meet an elderly woman. She recounts that children used to play at the playground, and after playing the Mashira-sama game, a boy named Akira ended his life from the leafless tree. His mother, driven insane by grief, began drawing a strange entity and posting the drawings everywhere, revealing the origin of the mysterious drawing that has been appearing in the cursed events. The old woman leads them to a vacant apartment overlooking Masaru-sama Mountain. As they gaze at the mountain, she explains that the Masaru-sama shrine still stands there. After the rock first disappeared, dolls began accumulating at the shrine. But 10 years ago, rumors say the rock returned, pushing the dolls aside. Convinced the rock is at the shrine, Yusei and Chihiro make their way to Masaru-sama Mountain. Near a tunnel, they almost get into an accident. Sensing danger, Chihiro quickly reverses the car, but then, behind them, she restarts the engine and speeds forward, striking the strange-looking woman on the road ahead. The woman simply stands back up as if nothing happened. They finally reach the torii gate, where the small shrine stands nearby, but the black rock is nowhere to be seen. Frustrated and desperate, Chihiro removes the dolls from the shrine as Yusei records. She screams for the rock and violently destroys the shrine, leaving Yusei standing there, deeply unsettled by her actions. Suddenly, a strange voice calls out, "Ooh!" Chihiro runs toward the sound, leading them to a small pond with a massive tree in the middle. Yusei continues filming as Chihiro says, "Thank you, Ozawa, for coming to my place." In that instant, the black rock appears. Yusei freezes, recalling Takeshi's earlier accusation that Chihiro was luring him as her next victim. The truth becomes clear. He realizes he is meant to be a human sacrifice, offered in exchange for Chihiro's lost child. A monstrous presence emerges. Yusei stands paralyzed with terror, still filming as the creature looms before him. The monster then drops something into the pond. Hundreds of giant eyeballs surge toward Yusei, covering his entire body. Chihiro watches without emotion as the eyes drag Yusei to the rock, sealing him inside. Suddenly, Chihiro hears the cry of a baby she believes to be Takumi. She clutches the black rock and calls out to her son. From the tree, the monster silently watches her, its presence captured by the camera Yusei dropped. Footage of the monster goes viral online, along with Chihiro's video pleading for help in finding her missing friend, Yusei Ozawa. She later stands up, retrieves something off-screen, and returns holding her baby. But her appearance has changed, now resembling the monster. She calmly thanks the viewers.